Talking about that like 10 draws fucking thing.
No, that's even better. I love that. I was talking shit with
That
the
That was
modern
a
one.
team event, I thought.
Wasn't a team event. It was just a bunch of people who play together.
Oh, they scooped each other in. It's fucked.
It'd be like if I went to instead of me battling it out at the RCQ with all the boys at the end, someone was just like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna scoop you in." Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like playing with like, let's say you took all the Gaddock Tigers.
Yeah,
and
the
you're
Tigers, and
and then we're
everyone's like, "Oh, let's let him win this week."
yeah, we're gonna exactly. It's fucked. That's a bad one. There's no getting around that.
Real bad.
I thought that guy was a fucking goon, but whatever. And then someone's like, "You understand?" So shut the fuck up. Like,
I've been doing the circuit for months.
I earned it.
Well then,
I
maybe you
earned
shouldn't
it.
suck,
We
and
all
then you'll
have,
earn it.
bro. We all have.
Yeah, just
You know,
the
if you
entitlement.
don't just suck constantly, maybe you won't.
Yeah, I earned this, and so I deserve it. It's like
If you go to every RCQ every weekend, you should not be.
no. I mean, the variance is there's nothing you can do about variance. Like, I'm not gonna argue that.
It
Like,
does, yeah, it does just happen.
yeah, I've been there.
I was gonna say, how many like PTQs do you think Tony's gone to?
And how many I fucking top 8'd 5 and fucking lost in the first round every single one of them. That sucks. Did it with Mono Black, did it with John, did it with Splinter Twin twice, and then did it with New John. So, that's what it is. Like, the goal is to put yourself in a position that you can top 8, and if you like.
The more top 8s you get, the better your odds are.
Yeah, top 8ing now.
So
is
if he
fucking
can't
simple.
top 8 all, well, that's what I was about to say. Is if he can't top 8 consistently, where he's gonna get it sooner or later, it's just like, come on, dude.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But yeah,
You probably shouldn't even be going to the RC at that point.
Yeah.
You chimp.
yeah.
Thanks,
It
thanks
is.
for reminding me to order Wizard Lightnings.
Do you need some? I got some here.
It's like the only. That's the actual card I'm missing now for Mono Red for Pioneer.
Yeah, when I was
It's like-
when I was searching for bulk, at GU, I pulled out like 10 of them.
Nice.
Hmm.
Because Scare the Critics is good and all, but Wizard Lightning is instant, which is a big deal.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's a huge game changer, and it also works
Yeah.
better with Soul Scar Mage
the
versus
creatures.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's gonna be better for you if you just have it. All right. I'll share my screen with you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And we're live.
Right now?
Yeah, we're
I don't
live.
feel alive.
Wake me
Oh,
up.
our bot thingy ain't in here.
I'm too lazy to fucking do it anymore. I'm just like, fuck it. I just
Rip it off the.
Yep. Which reminds me.
Yeah, whatever.
Looks sick.
Whatever works. Doesn't matter. It's not like it didn't gonna change nothing.
All right. Ooh, 7 viewers right off the get go. Hello.
Hello.
What's up, guys? I think we got a lot of new viewers in like the last couple of days. It's been pretty cool. But aside from that, you are listening to episode 159 of Paper Player. I'm your host Tony. I'm joined with Jeff and Jeff and
You had to
JB.
think about it.
I like how you had to think about that.
I'm so used to the
you guys
cadence
ever
of
see-
Jeff, Josh, and JB, and Josh is not here. He was.
You guys ever see Pete and Pete?
Yeah, that awful
Dude, this is
show.
just Pete and Pete, but with Jeff and Jeff. It's fine.
Two redheads hating each other because they want to out redhead each other. Is that the whole premise of the show?
I think so.
Are you sure? Because I thought that's what it was, but
I'm pretty sure.
Dude,
it
did you
is.
know the opening song is about
no. I'm just gonna stop it right
What?
there. No, I don't know what the opening song is about.
it's
I'll just stop it right there.
It's about a shooting of a woman at a protest in 1975 on a
Jesus
college campus.
Christ.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
crazy. Yeah, so there's like this kids cartoon that's just like singing about that.
I mean, apparently
not
all of
cartoons, it's a
Nickelodeon
TV
was all
show.
like foot
Yeah, I was
fetishes.
gonna say, do you remember Rocco's Modern Life? He was
Yeah.
He
That's
was a sex
totally
call worker.
different-
No,
yeah,
no, no.
that's a
I mean,
totally different thing.
then just that guy Dan, whatever his name is, who loved feet.
Yeah.
Snyder, yeah, he was obsessed with feet, bro.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all coming together, all over again. But yeah, so we'll get
Good way to
into-
start.
Yeah, it's a good way to
10
start.
10.
Hell yeah, dude. Feets are feets. But
Very gross, bro.
so on the agenda today, we didn't talk about it last week, but I wanted to, and we just had a lot of things that we kind of had on our docket last week. But the Sam Black had a post about him playing CDH, which kind of furthers my like disdain for that format, but that's just it is what it is. The current legacy and modern peril, which is just kind of the state of the formats, and there's just been no action from Wizards of the Coast, and there's some tinfoil hat theories that go along with that. What is collusion? And we'll talk about that with it.
I love it.
There was a guy that yeah, we'll
Made a real interesting Twitter post that we'll talk about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then
I'm sure some of you have probably already heard about it.
And then probably what you see, and then probably what you see on the screen, which we'll talk about the Sword Championship, which these ones are lit. Both the Shark Typhoon and the Urza Saga, which I am showing on the screen right now. It's a textless Urza Saga. I love that they do this a ton. Like things that are complicated, should be like, fuck it.
No text.
Keep doing it. I really love it. And then lastly, furries. We'll talk about a little bit of furry stuff that came out today and yesterday. Kind of the big boom of what that's going to be like, and that's actually going to probably have a huge impact on Standard, not only just due to the rotation, but some of the cards just seem powerful from the get go and just power crept it as a whole. So, with that, Jeff, JB, you guys get any Magic in?
What about you, JB?
I mean, I could talk about 2 weeks ago. I played. Yeah, I have not played any since 2 weeks ago. We had not a store championship. It's like an invitational or whatever. If you play enough at one of the local places, you get into this little invitational for Legacy.
Yes.
And I took mono red, like Blood Moon deck. Yep,
Yeah.
mono red prison. And round 1, I lost the die roll.
Yes.
Managed to get game 1, went to game 2, lost game 2, and then in game 3 he barely squeaked by. I think he had like 3 life or something by the end of the game. He was playing some control variant.
Sure.
So it felt real bad that I got beat up there. And then the next round, what did I play against? It was something that mono red probably.
Most likely grief.
Yeah, my guess is.
If it is grief, it will be grief.
But yeah, I think I went second, and they just ripped my hand apart. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You know, just got stomped, and that was the end of my Magic stories. That's all I really did in the past 2 weeks was get beat up real bad playing mono red. I do like mono red too. I like initiative, but I like mono red a lot. Too,
Yeah.
Because it's just like jam the hate pieces and see if they have an answer immediately, and if they don't, go to game 2 and have a pretty good chance of winning.
I've never loved hearing a phrase come out of your mouth so much.
What, the mono red prison? I like dude, mono red prison's just like playing initiative, except even dumber because I can just throw a thing at the board, go, yeah, I'll just play this bad goblin next turn and win.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you if in the dark, and this is what would be. I hope the energies and all those things always stay where you can't see your opponent's deck list before you play. But like just being able to catch people with their pants on, they're like, I'll keep a loose one. You're like, all right, Blood Moon. They're like, all I have is fetches.
Game over.
And it's like, yeah.
Or I kept a duel and a fetch. And it's like, yep,
exactly.
you
Like
lost.
just I can't produce anything about mountains, and I have brainstorms in my hand that I can't do anything with. And you're like, yeah, you've lost now. Goodbye. So that's one of those things where it's like that just never happens. If like that's kind of like. Doesn't happen at like FNMs because typically after round 1 you kind of see what everybody's on and you're like, all right, well, all right,
I know I gotta go fetch my one island or whatever.
Yeah, and there's only a few decks that are like telltale. It's like, oh, you revealed the Orion. All right, I'm playing against D&T. Like, here we go, like stuff like that. And then some pre-game effects you already have to resolve your mulligans, but yeah, pretty much that. I don't think there's any other. Is there any other companions that get played? Zerda's not played.
In Legacy, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think that's basically it. I think it's just Yorion, and that's really it.
I know in like Modern Pioneer, you'll see Gigantha sometimes, but I don't think Gigantha sees play in Legacy.
Mm-mm. And yeah, I certainly never seen.
Force will cost you blue, so you can't play it.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, what'd you get in?
Grief. Played Standard for a little bit, got bored of that. I'm just waiting for like rotation so I can see what the format's going to be like. But I've been playing a lot of Vintage Cube lately. Been getting better at it, trying to like polish up my drafting skills. And yesterday I went 3-0 3 times in a row, so that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Played Mono White, which Mono White beats. Just slam Thalia turn 2, watch the combo players cry. The second one, I went green black with Primetime and that 7-drop dragon from the big score.
Yes.
The one that when it comes in, you gain life draw and then it copies itself when it dies. Card is insane.
I bet.
Like so many times I'd play it and people would like kill it, and then the copy would come in and I'd get a message like, "Oh, I think it's bugged," and I'm like, "Read the card, dude."
Yeah, dude, yeah, for sure.
And then the last one I went 3-0 with was just red white burn, basically just like relying on flage and just like burn spells in general to like kind of push through. So I have another one going that I haven't started playing yet, but it's blue-green, so we'll see. I picked up like counter spells and like Mox Diamond. It's like kind of my first time drafting those, so we'll see how those go.
Right.
I just love Vintage Cube, man. It's like the perfect thing just to like put on a show and kind of like draft and play.
Yeah, it's fun. I like Vintage too.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the experiences of Vintage Cube is like different every time.
Yes.
Like decks aren't always the exact same, which is nice.
I don't know if I've said this, but I'm gonna go on the record. I don't care who it makes mad. I really hate that cubes have turned into what EDHs once were, where everyone has their like weirdo cube that's like, I got this cube with XYZ theme, and it's like I don't want to play that. I don't.
I'd rather have that over Commander everywhere though, because at least with Cube, like we sit down, it happens. There's not going to be this like 4-person like argument of like, if you don't concede, I'm gonna draw.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
and it's not even saying that I don't have fun with some of those. It's just like most of the time I'm like, dude, just if you have a Vintage Cube on you, I'm playing. If you don't, I'm probably not. Yeah. Like I just don't want to play.
I like Josh's Uncommon Cube. I think that's like a fun experience.
Yeah,
like because it's not as overpowered, so like games feel more battle cruisy.
Yeah. Well, there's Vintage, Legacy, and I've seen Modern Cubes. Those I've outplayed, and I've also played them online. Those are fun.
Modern Cube.
So go on.
I don't know. I feel like that. I'm fine with Modern Cube too, because I played a Modern Cube where it was like, okay, I understand what power cards will be in here for the most part.
Yep.
Like, it's understandable. Like, no offense to Josh, I just don't know what half of the
yeah, there's Uncommon Cube,
Uncommons are.
Yep.
Like, I just don't know what they are. So it's like, I don't care. I don't want to read 300 cards.
Yeah, so those are like the 5 primary ones, and then there's variants of like a Commander Cube, which I don't play just because it's like, we build Commander decks and then we play one round and it kind of sucks because whatever. I think the best way to do that would just be like, hey, this is a Grand Melee Cube. It's a Commander Cube. It's an 8-player pod. Last man standing takes the cake.
Agreed. I like that.
I think that's like the fun way to do it, rather than like, here's 2 4-player pods, here's 1 match, game over. It's like, okay, then it's whatever. But those other 5 ones, those are pretty common, and those are like the Legacy, Vintage, Modern, Pauper, and Peasant Cube. Those are pretty stock lists. So if you've played Peasant or like Pauper before, you're gonna see like 85-90% similarity versus like someone's like, this is my cube, this is the one that embodies me. It's like, I don't know what your 300 favorite cards are, and you're trying to probably be off the wall, like JB was saying. The 150 cards that you have in there that I have to read like Predatory Ooze or like nonsensical cards, I'm like, I'm not interested in that. And then I have no idea how to build your cube other than just being like, here's a pile of random good stuff, and then it just like doesn't work because you're like, well, I actually have the Tinker combo, but it doesn't have a Blightsteel. It has a Darksteel Colossus. I'm like, oh, I can't fucking beat that because I didn't know this existed, right? Like, one of the fun of Cube is like, you understand the synergies. You're like, hey, there's a Gaia's Cradle. All right, I'm gonna go this way. Whereas when you open up a pack of 14 Jank cards and you see, 14 bulk rares, and then you're playing against someone that has like a Mock Sapphire because that person's like, my favorite one is a Mock Sapphire. I had to have it in here. It's like, this is not fucking fun. Like,
not balanced.
I'm not having fun. Like, this sucks. And if I need to take a study guide before I play your cube, fuck you.
That's the problem. There's just a problem.
Yeah. So just
should be able to pick it up and be like, yep, this is powerful. Nice.
Yeah, I almost made a cube. I wanted to do an uncube, but just too many people don't know what the cards do, and a lot of cards just have way too many like rules text that I just didn't.
And that's the problem. That's the one other cube that I will like because I played this 5-color thing. I read so many uncards. I know so much of that like hot garbage. Like, flip the coin, do the action. Like,
but you got to remember, in 5-color, it wasn't 250 uncards. It was like 10 to 20 uncards. Now
Sure.
imagine your entire deck being uncards.
Yeah.
Someone I know has they call it the Chaos Cube that
Oh my
is
God.
nothing but like
Dude, the hokey pokey.
weird BS.
Yeah, I hate all
Well,
the
I mean, it was never. I don't think he does any of the dexterity cards.
lame. That's
like,
the
none of
fun.
that.
That's like half of
Shenanigan
them.
That's
BS.
the fun.
No, I
Chaos
hate
confetti.
that. Chaos confetti. Well, okay. Sorry. When I say dexterity cards, I mean like put your finger to your nose and hold it there forever. He has a real chaos orb in there. He has chaos confetti. He has a bunch on the side to like replace it when you tear it. And he
That's
actually has the
amazing.
ability to copy an artifact where
Yeah.
you can copy someone's chaos confetti and rip up the card that copied. So he's got a
That's
couple
funny.
more like extra copies of the copy card in case you make a copy of it,
Yeah.
which I think is great. But I don't know. That's the one. That's the one because whatever BS cards are some of my favorite things. So obviously I have history in it and know a bunch
Yeah.
of the garbage combos that you can make with some of those cards. So I don't know.
Also-
That's the one place I'm like fine with it.
Yeah. Also a big fan of Booster Tutor. I think that one's always the cool one.
Yeah,
Man,
Booster Tutor's one
that
that
should
should
just
be
be
in
in
most cubes.
everything.
It's fucking great. You're like, hey, you're gonna be playing Booster Tutor? Hell yeah! Like this. Here we go. So,
Hey up.
It's Tutor my booster.
yeah, or even for a cube, you just go grab a cube pack. You just have like 10 of them off to the side.
You also, in that case, you should also be playing the one that opens the pack and summons all or casts
Summon the
all
pack.
creatures. Yeah, summon the pack.
Yeah, the 8-mana one. Yeah, that one's a
Yep.
fun one too.
Yeah,
Those are
both are great.
Yep. Yep. Those are. It's. I mean, honestly, those things could exist, right? Like, you could do. I mean, the only thing you have to be random at some point, right? Someone would have to do it. All right. I didn't really get any. I played a cube. That was about it. That's it. I've been finishing up getting all the other cards for my decks. I finished my Nadu deck. I finished the Legacy deck, and I built a. It's gonna sound unlike me, but I built a Boros Legends multicolor EDH, which
Okay.
plays the 3/1 for every time you cast a multicolor card, you get a 4/4 golem, and then the rest
Yeah,
of the
that
card is
card's
just
great.
that card's awesome. And it's like it's hexproof from monocolor.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know, that card's just cool to me, and I've liked it for a while. Like I've just been like, ugh, fuck it, and then I just was like, I was gonna do it unsleeved, and then I was like, oh, I have to play shitty cards then, and then I was like, I want to put like a plateau in here, so it's like, all right, like guess I'll sleeve it up.
Plus, then you can't play MDFCs or anything.
Yeah, that's
like
the big
that.
one too. That one sucked. I was like, fuck that. I was a little not. I shouldn't say upset. I was just more or less like, all right. Like, I don't get to do what I want to do, so I guess I'll power it up. I made it like real. Let's put it that way, and it's real. But yeah, I got a bunch of my decks finished, so
Nice.
now I can go and play. I would have played in the Pioneer probably last week, the RCQ. I just didn't have I was missing cards, and I was like, fuck. And trying to like hunt stuff down is always just a bitch. Like,
Especially for Pioneer.
yeah, it's not like stores don't have that stuff. Stores have legacy like it sounds ridiculous, but stores have high end stuff. They don't have
Like mid tier.
like 50-cent standard rares. Like they just aren't there, and I'm like, I need 4 of this. And you're like, fuck, which is like some random 3/1 cat from Mixalon. So
Are you talking about the one that flashes and comes in and
gains life, exiles a
I
graveyard.
have some.
I have them now. I got them.
Oh.
They were in the mail.
Well,
like
oh, are you playing Amelia combo?
I have Amelia. I don't want to play it. So
Okay, good.
I have it. I have it at the ready. I know better. Like, and also I've been playing a ton of blue white again, just because I got to get my rocks off.
And it's actually good in Pioneer.
Yeah, because it beats the crap out of the top 2 decks. Really good. It's bad against everything else, but it pummels Amelia just because you have normalize and counter spells, and you have great ways of answering their Amelia combo. And because they're a one-trick pony, you're able to hit them on the stack and also hit them with cards. And then all of a sudden you just go to Teferi, and they don't have a good way of dealing with Teferi. You can get there. And then you also are good against Phoenix, because Phoenix does not line up well against the Wanderer. And my list is 3 copies of the Wanderer, and it's also playing 3 main deck Narset, so all the cantrips don't cantrip. So And
And don't you have rest in peace on the board?
Nope, no rest in peace, not needed.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that too. It's just a card you don't need, which it sounds really strange, but normally like how the games play out, you have main deck Dovin's Veto, so Treasure Cruise is never going to resolve against you. Like it just never I hold this card for Treasure Cruise and Treasure Cruise alone, because that's the way they get back in the game. And usually they bring 2 Phoenixes back, you exile one, and then they are left with 1 left that kills your Wanderer, and then you can just Sunfall the other one, and then their entire game plan is to try to rebuild. And as long as you have the Dovin's Veto for the Treasure Cruise, like that's it, the game's over. Like they can't get back into it. And you have good spot removal for Ledger Shredder, and the rest of their deck just doesn't do a good job of putting any pressure on your Planeswalkers, because they like the Picklock Fairy or whatever, the 1/3,
a 1/4,
and the 1/4. I think, is it a 1/4? I thought it was a 1/3. Either way, it's the adventure.
Maybe it's
spell.
a 1/3. I thought it was a 1/4, but yeah.
Yeah. So either way, like those all existing, and not being able to put any pressure on your Planeswalkers, makes it so like you can just do whatever you want. So, which is cool. So, all right.
Does it run temporary lockdown?
2 in the main. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure, like, how do you beat green?
The green decks? Sunfall.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Sunfall
if you can survive long enough.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. When they have the double ley line Nykthos, you're like, all right, fuck. And then like you're basically at the mercy of like don't draw well, but you have no more lies for the flashback card. Storm the whatever the festivities, but like don't get me wrong. They have turns where they just go like Nykthos, tap Nykthos, make 7 mana, Kiora, and then you're just like, well, I'm tapped out. That's it. But you also have Get Lost and Supreme Verdict.
Well, and you run Field of Ruins, don't you?
Field of Ruins and March of Outworldly Light. So like you have ways to pick off. Yeah, you have ways to pick off their elves and stuff. So it's just in the dark. You can be susceptible to like, okay, I have a Dovin's Veto, I have a Memory Deluge, I have a Wanderer, and I have 3 lands, and then some other spell. You're like, I'll keep this, and then they just go like land, elf, land, Nykthos, or like land, Old Growth Road, Nykthos. You're like, shit. Like all of a sudden, it's like the game's gotten away from you, and you're just like a turn behind from like Supreme Verdicting them to kind of reset the board. And you don't really want to Supreme Verdict Old Growth Troll because it still keeps their devotion high, which is annoying. It's just the way it is. So you really need like March of Outworldly Light or Sunfall to get rid of that card, because I mean, Nykthos is a pretty shitty card when their devotion's like 2. You're like, yeah, nice, whatever, nice colorless land. But yeah,
agreed.
All right. So last week I wanted to cover this, but we didn't. I think it's on the screen. Let me check. Yeah, there we go. So Sam Black had a post about his first round in a CDH tournament, which he's kind of really gotten into CDH. I mean, like he's like balls to the walls in CDH, which, you know, more power to you, so forth. But he's in a 4-player pod, and I don't know exactly what he's playing, but he's the only guy with counterspells, it seems like. And one guy's about to go off and win, and the other guy, he's going to get too far ahead if Sam spends his counterspell here. So he looks at both players, and the 4th player has no say in it because they just got like a shit deck. They have a Sisay's deck that's not doing anything. And he goes, I'm showing my Force of Will here. I want to draw. If you guys don't agree to a draw, whichever one of you doesn't agree to the draw first, I will let the other person win. It's kind of like a prisoner's dilemma, not including the Sisay player, which the Sisay player also has to agree to it. But the Sisay player, like, they eventually talk to him, and then it ends up in a draw, which kind of spiraled this like internet thing about like, I love Matt Sperling because he's I think we have similar personality types in the sense of like we like the true form of the game of competition, whereas like in my opinion, is like, Sam, I think you should have countered the spell, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles, versus being like, let's make a deal, like with guns, you know, Spider-Man's pointing each other, whatever. So
yeah.
That's what that was, and it was mixed reviews on it. This only, like I said, it furthers my disdain for CDH, because CDH, as much as people are like, this is the most cutthroat event, you know, there's no politicking. That is just fucking bullshit. Politicking 100% exists in CDH. It's a requirement of the format, and it's like, you have to downplay your hand and then also trick other people, and then people get angry that you fucking tricked them. Because I think a month or 2 months ago we talked about that one dipshit that's like lied, I don't have the combo win, and it was like, just kidding, I have the combo win, and it was like, you cheated. Like,
it's not cheating.
It's not. It's deceitful. Being deceitful in Magic is one of the key things.
I don't know. CDH is just like own thing now. I honestly like don't get like whatever, man. Like this is gonna happen no matter what. So they do their thing. I'm just not gonna play it.
I like to make fun of it because I'm just like that. Forget this. This is the worst. This is terrible. Like,
yeah.
Stop calling it competitive. It's just not competitive. Just say, I don't know how to call it something else because this is not what
fine-tune commander.
Yeah, like exactly. I hate the idea that you're calling it competitive because there is no way to do that. There's just no way to make it competitive, right?
No.
Not without taking away.
That's what I mean. Is this if you like played in a box and could talk to no one but make actions on your own?
You mean like playing online without the chat?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Then I could see where you'd be like, yep, this is competitive because, you have to make the gut decision. Will someone counter it or do I waste my counter here? Let's see. Let's find out. I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take the 25% chance that no one else has a counter. And if they don't, they don't. And I lose.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, couldn't someone have technically called a judge for him sliding his card to someone and showing it?
No, he revealed it to the table, so it was public information.
He revealed the Force Will. He did not reveal the Fierce Guardianship.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
If you read the post, he said, I slid the Fierce Guardianship to the Corvold player and said it'll resolve. How is that any different than the month ago when we were talking about those players who were like, hey, I'm going to look at the top card. If it's not a land, you win. Like, is that not just the same thing at that point? You're like, hey, don't worry, your spell's safe. Here's information that I'm not sharing with everyone else.
Right. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I don't know.
I hate Commander. It should not be a sanctioned format in any way. It should not have prize support. Like, correction, it can have prize support, but, like, you shouldn't be playing for, like, $1,000 cards.
Well, when you do, it's like you're just in a room of everybody getting butthurt, right? Like, it's. I mean, there are like world tournaments for like Catan too, like in multiplayer games.
Yeah.
But so like, there's an argument for that.
Should be 1v1.
Oh yeah,
that solves the problem too.
Yeah, then it's just playing whatever. It's But I've said my piece on CDH, and I keep bringing my disdain for it. EDH I think is great. I think it's great for a fun time. Obviously, it's a great kind of common alternative format that everybody plays. However, CDH, yeah, it is what it is. People that love it, they just I believe that they're afraid of 75 card decks or 60 card formats because they're just like, I don't want to get griefed over and over. But it's like,
let's say people just
go. But that's also a fair argument. No one wants to like keep playing against the same deck over and over. I mean, that's why we're all talking about this for all these formats, isn't that?
Yeah. But yeah. That's
how about you just have all your friends scoop you in? It's fine.
Yeah, let's
Bro, I got you.
Dude, so here's the post. Crew 3 podcast, and yeah.
I like how you're calling them out.
Oh, dude, we were friends after this. They're like, yo, can you give me I made some memes on them, but they were in good spirits. They were in good spirits, and I think they were enjoying it too, which I thought was really funny. Anyways, so a guy said, I did it. I won with Amelia. Deck is great. I got some good old team scoops, but won in the finals on my own. Okay. Then he shows his record, and he also says like Amelia is broken. Like in a different post, he's like, this is completely broken. This just shows like that if you put time and dedication in, like you get to have this. And his round 1, he plays against a deck, wins. Round 2, one of his teammates scoops him in. Round 3, another teammate scoops him in. Round 4, he wins. Round 5, he draws. Quarterfinals, somebody scoops him. Semifinals, somebody scoops him. He has to win the finals. He does. And he won a total of 3 matches in a total of 8 rounds and wins he played 3 rounds of Magic in an 8-round tournament and wins the tournament. I think we talked about this a while back, but it sounds like collusion. But
so irritating.
It's so funny to me.
Like, I get it happens, like, occasionally. Like, I've even been at tournaments where, like, I've sat down against a friend years ago, and they're like, hey, your record's better than mine. I'm just gonna scoop. Like, there's no way to stop that. It's just gonna happen. But this is ridiculous, man. Like, you played 3 rounds out of 8 and claim that your deck is busted. Your deck is not busted by any means. Your friend group is busted.
The bragging of it was really bizarre, and they go into like justifying it. I'm waiting for their podcast to come out because I can't wait to just listen to it, and just hear what they have to say about the whole scenario. But they justified it by their team. We travel 2 hours every week to go to an RCQ, and there's a whole bunch of them here in Texas. But, you know, we've been grinding. We had a rough start to our season, so we want to make sure that we can get as many team members as possible in. So, obviously, the people that are team scooping them have already qualified for these things, and basically they're like, well, it's like our goal is to get everybody in, so we go there and we basically fucking have predetermined fixed matches when they get paired up against each other. There is still like the random factor to it. But then the other homie is the two that like took 2 top 8 slots, maybe more, but 2 top 8 slots. You know, were scooping him in, and they took top 8 slots from people that could have potentially been in the tournament. Now I don't know how big the tournament is, but it was enough to condone a 5-round tournament, which is anywhere from 17 to 32. So,
and like, could it have lined up where he didn't get to do his little scoops in?
Yeah.
Sure, but it happened. It's funny.
It did.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know if funny is the term I would use.
Funny? I think it's hilarious.
I would be highly upset if I was at a tournament and I sat next to this guy multiple times and just heard his opponents go, "Yeah, man, I'm just gonna scoop you in." It's infuriating when you like, especially when you win 4 rounds in a row. You bust your ass, you play, you win your matches, and then some guy's bragging that he played 2 rounds and got in.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be infuriating.
Yeah, so you know, I got their next week's deck list if you're curious what it is.
Scoop. This was so great.
Yeah. Scoop up Cyclone, scoop up net, and get the scoop. That's the scoop. Mono Blues
with 40 islands.
Yeah, 40 islands just to make the salt better. But yeah. So like, as far as like competitive integrity, it's problematic, and I know this happens on a much smaller scale, meaning that like I'm
freaking F&M, and you have the same thing happen, right?
Not really. Like I wouldn't. I mean, that's
wild, bro. If you're scooping someone in,
I don't scoop nobody. Like I would like the reasonable. So I had a couple posts because I was going back and forth with like people on this, and I was like, I know this thing happens all the time when player A is like, I have this record based on my tiebreakers, I cannot get in. However, player B, you can get in. I will scoop you in. Like I just can't. Like I gain nothing from beating you, other than taking the like your wins out of your sale, right? And because you get the pair down, like I understand that, and people do that shit. They just go like, well, fuck that guy, or you know, whatever. And there are some things that are added to that where it's like, I have friends at the tournament that are on the cusp, and I could bump them in if I beat you. Which okay, sure, but that doesn't take away from like the competitive aspect of that. But like there are times where it's like, yeah, I did the math on the breakers. I have no chance of getting in. Like you take the win. Like it doesn't make sense for me to steal it from you because I gain nothing from it, and if I win I gain nothing, and if I lose I gain nothing, which is like yours. And
I'm literally call it dream crushing.
I was about to say no. If I win, I dream crush you.
Yeah,
I've definitely sat down against an opponent, and we looked at like it was like right before round 5, and we looked at the pair or the standings, and I've been like, hey, if I win this, I'm guaranteed to get top 8. If you win, your chances are like slim to none. You are probably going to end up in like 10th or 11th. Would you be willing to scoop to me? I do not offer anything. I don't ask her. Like, just would you be willing to scoop? They say yes, cool. If they say no, cool. We're gonna play. I don't get upset.
Yeah, like, I would never ask somebody to do that. Like I've gone where I've explained it to them, and they go like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. It's like, all right then, all right, well we'll move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one of those things. And then one of the other things I brought up too, it's like this is no different than, let's say like there are smaller RCQs out there, and let's say there's 24 slots at a small one, and I go, you know what, I'm gonna register and I'm gonna make 23 fake players. I'm gonna also buy all 24 slots. Okay, I show up to the tournament, no one else is there. I go, I guess I have to win by default, right? Like, because the other 23 people registered, and I could just be on my phone saying that they're all checked in, and they all, or I could just go fucking round up 23 people. You know, I need you guys here. I'll give you each 20. Like, what's the difference of me like there's no difference between what he did and like me just paying 23 players to be like, I need you to concede to me.
The only difference is you're spending way more money than he did.
The spending is irrelevant because
no,
the actions. Yeah, I'm saying like if I spend $5,000 more, am I justified in doing that? Or
no.
Yeah, right. But the point is the action is incorrect.
Agreed.
Yeah. So yeah,
I think this should not be allowed.
Yeah. So.
But how do you stop it?
You can't. It's just it's one of those.
Laugh.
It's the only way to stop it would be to get rid of IDs, and you can't do that.
Well, you could also say qualified players cannot play in RCs.
That is true. I don't know why they're
RCQ,
allowing for qualified people to play now.
RCQ players, if you're already qualified, you can go in Dream Crush. You can spend you can spend the whole season being a nightmare. Just prevent.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna win 6 invites.
Which the reality, what it should be is, there's 2 ways to go about it. If you want to be the guy that goes and ruins everybody's day, the invite should pass down to second place. If you've already been qualified and you win first place prize, you're there for the prize, like for the money. It goes down. Yeah. The second real way to make sure that this doesn't happen.
That would be the reasonable way.
Yeah. The second, and if you allow that, you get that situation. Because people scooping each other in. The second way is just like qualified players that are the RCQs don't get in, and NRGs they're also and SCGs they're also RCQs on top of them. So the downside is they're offering $10,000 prizes, or high prize value, if you will, and you'd have to exclude players from your tournament, which then hurts the organization.
You don't though.
No, I know you don't. I'm just saying like you don't. You could just say like this has a separate stipulation, and then when it's a 300-person tournament, like good luck getting your boys ID to you.
What I'm saying is the way it worked before, where if you qualified you couldn't play, SCG and our NRG were excluded because their tournaments offer points to their circuit.
Yes.
So if you played and you were already qualified for the RCQ, it did just pass down to the next person.
Good. Okay. Then that's fine. Then they should just go back to the RCQ.
Doing it that way. Yeah.
I think if you're qualified, like, sorry, you don't get to play 2 months of competitive Magic, but there are other outlets to do that, like there just are, like, I know it kind of makes it so you're not allowed to, which whatever, but that also should change too, because there's 2 RCs per season now, like 2 actual championships, so I think you can play in both of them. I don't know, don't quote me on this, but I don't know if they're played on the same day. I think they're like a week apart, so you could technically qualify for 2 different ones. So you could go get like a sealed one, go win a sealed tournament, and then once you've done a sealed tournament, you can then go play constructed, and vice versa. Anyways.
Yeah. They all qualify you for the same RC.
The RCs next season, there's 2 RCs per qualification. So there's 2 different tournament sites. So that way,
people who I didn't know that changed.
People that live in Washington don't have to travel to Florida and so forth. It's kind of splitting it up where you can technically go to both. So it's gonna,
because the next one is in DC at the beginning of October.
Yeah. Right. Yep. So it's not, I don't think it's this season, but the season where SCG officially takes it over, they're offering 2 RCs per 2 regional championships to reduce the amount of like these tournaments from being 1,000 people tournaments or however high they're getting, because they're more RCs.
15.
Yeah, so they're trying to break up the numbers where it's like, players that don't want to travel 16 hours can go to the one that they only have to travel 4 hours to.
I'm pretty sure Dallas was the last DreamHack. I think SCG has control of it now.
Okay, so there might be 2. I could be wrong. Maybe it's the finishing out this year, but I know for a fact that they are going to 2 locations per season for 2 different RCQs or 2 different RCs.
It's probably in the next season because this season started before RC Dallas actually happened.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So there's that. But yeah. Overall, this whole
that's so funny.
Yeah, this whole debacle. It makes me laugh.
Love it.
It's the downside is it really is like a common thing that happen. But just to brag about, like, my record is 42-21, where it's like, well, you had 4 people scoop to you. So you could just go ahead and you should reduce your record wins total, which is just kind of whatever.
I would not have even posted the rounds. I would have just said, like, I did it with Amelia. I won. This is the deck. Like, why? Like, I feel like this is bragging that you got scooped in.
He did. He is bragging. He's like, thanks to my team, and which is
like it pays to know people. Is what this post is saying.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's ridiculous. Let's put it that way. All right.
Then again, I just kind of like drama, so it's like, all right, give me that, feed me.
Oh yeah, it let me.
I love it.
It gained me followers on Twitter because I was shit
laughing about it and replying.
Yeah,
I see the post right here. So you have 4 matches that were decided by not playing Magic.
Yeah, there's more of those. I just kept going because like Cedric Phillips said something about it, so I was like, let me just add something to the fire over here. And I couldn't stop. I couldn't handle myself.
Tony.
Yeah, it's just me. I'll pull these pictures up. That way we can enjoy them together, guys. But
do I want to?
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
By the way, like, because I don't know if you put it on the docket for today while you're getting these. When I was at the mall today and I saw that picture at GameStop,
about the card trading?
Yes. So if the listeners haven't seen, apparently GameStop is now buying slabbed cards.
Cool.
You have slabbed cards. You can go to take a $2,000 card to GameStop and get that $24 you've always wanted for your slabbed card.
Yeah, I don't really get it.
Who the hell is gonna They're really trying to stay afloat. They started buying vintage games.
They always have.
No, so for a long time you couldn't sell an original Game Boy to GameStop. It was in the last couple of years that they decided to start doing that.
I thought they did start picking it up because they just sell them on eBay or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. In the last couple of years they started that. There was a long time.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. That's just
I mean, whatever. But slabbed cards. So now you're telling me I guess I don't go to GameStop. Everything's digital, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to see that. Every place is buying cards now, I feel like.
Pokemon craze, baby.
Yeah, well,
bring me your graded Pokemon cards.
Yeah, and there's so many people out there that just believe they have $1 million sitting in their basement. I gotta go to my mom's house to get my cards. It's like if everybody has them, then they're not rare. But yeah. All right. Grief.
Terrible. Right. Cool. I honestly, it's crazy because I was debating on going to Legacy yesterday, and I know our local group tends to be a little better than this, but I was looking at the top 8s and just seeing grief, and I was like, I don't want to go play this. I really don't.
Yeah.
And I just skipped playing Legacy yesterday. It's just
that's problematic.
There's gonna be half of the people there on some blue-black list that I don't want to play against.
I've never played against Grief. Correction, I never played Grief, is what I meant to say.
Oh, sure.
I have.
And I played it in Cube the other day, and even having one copy of that card felt gross. There were so many times I was like, all right, this is the turn, I'm going to do something big, but what if he has an answer? Oh, well, I'm just going to, play this Grief for free, rip it from your hand. Here's, Ephemerate. I'll be set up for next turn to protect. I was like, wow, this card is disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
Real dumb.
It's
There's a reason why I played the blue-black or the red-black Grief deck in Modern. It was super good.
Yeah.
That card, just that paired with Fury was stupid.
Yeah, it was real good.
I'm gonna rip your hand apart, and any
threats you ever
glimmer of idea you think of surviving with the threat is gone now because Fury's just gonna clear the board.
Good.
Yeah.
No, it was.
That deck was so good.
I don't know why Wizards ever thought free elementals were going to be good for the format. Because even I feel like once you get unless you get rid of all of them besides maybe endurance, because
subtlety's fine.
Yeah, subtlety's subtlety's kind of the butt of the joke.
It doesn't feel great.
It sucks.
It's fine.
I think subtlety's the one that takes over if you get rid of Grief.
No, because you can't.
No way.
You can't. So subtlety is purely
you're not
reactive.
Dealing with it, you're just putting it off.
Yeah. So Fury was if you have a Tarmogoyf and I top deck a Tarmogoyf, or sorry, if I top deck a Subtlety, it feels really bad. And then it's also not proactive. Whereas I can't do things like I do with Grief, where you're like Grief, Ephemerate, where it's like Subtlety. You can't. There's no opportunity to like cheat with that one. Like, and it's the same is true with like Endurance. Like, you don't get to cheat with Endurance. Like, you can't really blink it because
you can, but like it doesn't matter.
Anything,
right? Yeah, and it's just the same is true with Subtlety. It's like you don't get anything from it, and the fact that it only hits things on the stack, and it's limited to creatures and planeswalkers, right?
Yes.
So, like, if someone just plays, I don't know, like an artifact, you're like, ah, shit.
Rhinos, good luck.
Exactly. So, like, it misses. It could have been, like, all things, but it didn't, and thankfully not.
What I mean by Solitude taking over is I don't mean like it's going to be egregious where like you're just constantly losing to it. I just think it'd become the most played elemental if we got rid of Grief.
Yeah, of course.
But I think the Bant color ones are fine.
Yes, they are.
It's crazy to me that the red-black ones are the best ones.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, the red one was probably the wrong ban. Like, in hindsight.
In Modern, I don't know. I think they both would have had to go.
Yeah, it's fair. Like, if you remove Grief and left Fury, like, what does the format look like, right? Whereas when you had both of them,
you're getting turn 1 Furies, like, what is it? Not dead after all, or whatever.
Sure. Like, I'm okay with you having a 4/4 double strike if you're okay with me, like, just playing a blocker, like blocking it, or being able to Solitude it. Like, the Grief play pattern is a fucking nightmare because its trigger goes on the stack. And if your response is to Solitude it, you've now gone down to 5 cards to get rid of their Grief. Their Grief trigger still resolves and strips you of your remaining cast.
And they respond and they blink it.
They can with Ephemerate, and then assuming they don't do like that. So like you're at this horrible like place where you're like, fuck, like, do I want to deal with this? And if you let it resolve, well, guess what? They're gonna take your Solitude, and then they're gonna bring it back. And then when they in the Legacy contest, they reanimate it, so they bring it back whenever. Like, they don't need to do a timing thing. And fuck, does that hurt? And then the worst thing of it all is when they go like Grief you, and you try to you try to force will it. They tap the Underground Sea, floating a blue, daze your fucking force will, and you're just like,
oh. Yes, it's over.
All right, so we're just back to like days should go.
Yep, I've always been on that boat, but no one will listen to me.
Days has always been the problem. Nobody wants to fucking admit.
I hate it so much. I hate
That's
it.
how
I hate it.
Feel about
and the worst part
now.
is, people are like, "Well, that'll get rid of what's that stupid deck? Doomsday." And it's like, Doomsday doesn't put up numbers at all, ever, ever.
Doomsday
it doesn't exist.
It's a frail little combo. It's frail.
What are you trying to?
just trying to call you a little man, Jeff. JB. Frail little man. You're sad
little man with a sad little deck.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to get
third rate duelist with the 4th rate deck.
Exactly. Same.
But seriously, it's always been Days. It continues to be Days.
Yeah.
Without Days, the tempo they have, even if they mess your hand up with Grief twice, is not enough to stop you. It's the backup. Oh yeah, check this out. Actually, on turn 1, you can't kill the Grief that I have here anymore with a Lightning Bolt or any other removal because I have this thing that says wait a turn.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Dongle, baby.
If you both were at parity in the sense of like they Grief you, you force will, they force will back. You don't feel so bad because you're like, all right, you're at 1 fucking card in hand, and like I have 6 turns to draw out of this. Whereas the Days just it's like, oh my fucking god, like how annoying. And it's always followed with a goddamn reanimate. And the Days, the play pattern of Grief, you try to stop it, they daze you, and then they reanimate it. So you've gone down to 5, 4, and then down to 3 cards. You have 1 card and probably 2 lands. Like, your fucking deck sucks.
Good luck.
The dream is to be like, they Grief you and you're like, reveal 7 lands. Like,
you suck it, bro.
Hey, guess you're not getting to me today.
Dude,
nice
it's so
deck.
funny. Someone in our little legacy group was like, dude, you just gotta start playing Obstinate Bailoffs. Yeah, check this out. Boom.
Yeah, you just 4 Obstinate Bailoff, 4 Loxodon Smiters. Be like,
there's the Liege too, the green-white Liege.
yeah, just play 12 of those. Just like,
Is this a deck? We should, and you don't do
so
anything.
funny.
Like, you never play anything.
yeah. The downside is
Pray you play against the deck, the same deck over and over.
you need to get 20 copies of that card, because the downside is if you reveal your hand. Well, I guess what you could do is you can mulligan down so you only have 4 cards. So the Grief player is just licking his chop. Like, I'm going to get you. And you're like,
It's just 4 of those.
Nah.
I mean, that's the real. So that's the biggest problem, right? Then, because then even if you were to do something insane like that, like something terrible, like that's obviously a bad deck, right?
Yeah.
Everyone can agree.
It's
that's a
funny.
terrible deck.
Yes.
The problem is they just go, all right, well, I'll just wait until I put Atraxa in the bin and then kill you.
Yeah,
It's like,
you're like,
okay, cool. Perfect.
Or like you kept an opening hand with like Noble Hierarch and then those cards, and they're just like, I'll just grab your Noble Hierarch. I'm not going to reanimate this thing for the rest of the game. Good, have fun hard casting your shitty cards.
We can. Our lands can be graveyard hate. That does exist. Like, we got Bajuka Bog. We've got what's the desert.
Right.
We can make this work, man. We're gonna die to every other deck.
Well,
but,
You know, I mean, at that
gonna die
point,
to
all
grief.
your creatures are green. You would just be playing endurances on the side too.
You can't, because then that gives them a grief target. You can't give them the out. I guess what you
Yeah,
can do is
give one.
you can respond all endurance. That way you're only left with
Yeah, in
Obstinate Bailoff.
response to the grief coming,
Oh.
and then they have to
Oh.
pick one of your guys. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Grief is or endurance is great.
So the deck's got to be 4 Force of Vigor, 4 Endurance. So you have ways to just go like evacuate, like get these out of my hand.
Well, you can't play in
Does Force of Vigor and
force of
that's up
I
to,
think
right?
it's just up
pick
to.
something.
No, I think it's up to. You don't have to
Sure?
have to 100%.
Okay.
Let's
I,
look at
I
the
wouldn't
one.
say
Could be
100%, but
I mean, I guess I've never cast it and not had something to pick.
Up
so.
to. So you can just go.
yeah.
All right, all right.
Give the
There you
shot.
go.
Yeah.
So you got your, you
So
got your like 10 cards,
There's 24
or
cards right there.
40 cards.
Yeah, we had 20
whatever.
right there. We have our solid 20. Now we just need 40 good lands.
Good
Easy.
lands.
You get to play the
Terrible.
Field of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
We're going
that's
in the
so
long
bad.
game, bro.
I mean, at that point, you should also play Life from the Loam too, because you don't care
No.
if it goes in the bin.
No, because then they have a target. They need to
You don't
hit.
care. You're happy. if it
yes,
goes
we
to the
do.
bin.
We
They-
want
they
because these
have to hit
creatures
the
are going to make us
Bailoff.
discard, come into play for
Yeah.
free.
You're allowed to play once upon a
You play
time.
Venge Vines. You play Life from the
Ooh,
Loam.
Vengevine actually.
You can't
would be
cast
bad.
cards. What are you talking about? Like, what are
Vengevine will
you,
be alright.
how are you gonna cast the creatures?
That's true. It just puts them into play.
You're gonna cast 2 Obstinate Bailoffs in a fucking turn. Where'd you get your 8 mana from, bud? How long did this game go? Did you not get beat
Oh
up
my
by?
God.
Yeah. Well, there's
We have
gotta
to
be.
play Gaia's Cradle.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could play 4 main deck. Veil of Summer. I mean, the big tech I actually saw that somebody beat up on a grief deck really good on one of the Moto challenges was they played 4 main deck Ground Seals.
Oh my
Oh, that
god.
part's so good.
It fucking ruled. It made it so they only got griefed once, right? And so they couldn't get anything back from the grief. It replaced itself with drawing a card, and then their Atraxa plan is like out the window. And because it's blue black, they have like a singular Brazen Borrower, so you know exactly what you're fighting over.
Yep.
Yeah. So I got a kick out of
funny.
that. Yeah, I was like, holy
Ground
shit.
seal.
But 4 main deck ground
Surprise,
seals.
bitch.
So if you get 2 ground seals, it's over. You're like, good luck with your shitty deck because your griefs are the worst kind of duresses you've ever seen. But yeah,
You know what you pair with Ground Seal though?
go on.
Grief.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Get out of here.
I'm not
I
saying.
mean, like, why
I'm not saying,
wouldn't you?
I'm not saying you're gonna win. But
I'm
yeah,
just saying it's gonna make the grief players feel bad in the
yeah,
room.
it was 4 ground seal. It just made me laugh.
You
I
may
was
not beat anybody else, but
Yeah.
you'll beat them.
like, when the format's 52% fucking grief, like.
Okay, yeah, I was about
I
to say,
mean,
pull up
you
the
have a higher
statistics
chance
since
of
we're
playing
talking
it
about-
every round
Hold
than
on.
any other
Okay,
deck.
hold on. I gotta
Pull,
find them.
pull up them statistics. I know you got them somewhere.
Fuck. MTG statistics, and there is some tinfoil hat theories on that because they were supposed to release all of Magic Online data. Daybreak said they were going to do that, and then
They said there was like some breach.
Wizards was like, hold up.
no, Wizards said you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Wait, Wizards said that?
They
Yep.
something
that's-
something
well,
happened to stop them.
We don't know for sure.
They
It's
changed it.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah, Daybreak was like, oh, we're going to do it. And then they didn't do it. And they're like, actually, we're going to go back to the old system and we're actually going to reveal less information. Because before you could see any 5-0 list from a
because
league. Now it's
why?
select.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. Let me see if I can.
Why would they ever admit that they were keeping cards in a format in order to make money? Why would they?
It's a company at the end of the day, man.
Yeah. Then why would they admit to that?
And to be fair, like Legacy is a format they've openly stated they don't really like. Wizards doesn't really care about.
This is a guy on YouTube talking about that mill guy is actually, he broke it all down. So if you want to, here's what you're going to do. If you want to find out all about this, go to that mill guy, and he talks about it. He talks about Owl Game Central canceling their 5K about it. The Legacy metagame from it's not 39%, but I think if you do the last 14 days, it goes to 48%.
Really
and the last 7 days is obviously 52%. It's the only thing going on.
And like people say like, oh yeah, that's because people own those cards. It's like, I don't know, dude. I'm pretty sure a lot of those Delver players who used to be blue-red are now blue-black.
Yeah.
They didn't just randomly have 4 Underground Seas.
Well, in the last 20 days or the last month, they've all gained. What's the fucking new card? The Frog, Psychic Frog.
Yeah, the Frog. It's
Which
just free draw.
I will
it's
admit
great.
that this data is mainly from playing online, where you have access to those cards.
Yeah, that too.
But any big tournament you go to, legacy players are like the Gatic Tigers. Like, people stick together when it comes to an expensive format. So if you need to borrow things or like, I feel like it's weirdly enough, a lot easier to do it for Legacy than it is for Pioneer or Standard.
Yep.
Keep your friends, boys. Make friends.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they scoop you in and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they scoop you in. They give you $500.
That's the only reason I got friends.
So if you want to check this out, this guy goes way more in depth. They talk about it. The fact that like a 5K got canceled because like the turnout was just like, I don't want to play against that. That sucks. So that's the same thing happened with Oko. Like Oko was like, there was a fucking.
It's like, I'm tired.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm just tired.
Yeah.
So, I traveled for an energy. And I played Saturday, I think it was like Modern, and then Sunday was Legacy, and I was going to play Legacy, and I decided not to because that was like the first big week that Oko took over in Legacy.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm playing Burn, and I can never beat an Oko.
it's impossible.
So I literally just didn't play and walked around and watched people play that day.
So, yeah,
that's all right.
The tinfoil hat theory is because usually, like, Watsu was like, we have the data, it's not that bad. Whereas now if they release the Daybreak data where everybody would see like, oh, dude, your format's fucking win rate is 70% fucking blue black. You gotta ban this card. Which would then be like, I know you guys are seeing the fucking data. Like, do what's right so we can continue on with this format. And you can see in this top 8, it is blue black, blue black, blue black, blue black, blue. 6 of the top 8 in a 290 player tournament is all blue black, which is better than Nadu fucking numbers, and these are all stock fucking blue black lists. So
yeah, it's pretty insane.
No, I don't think Grief is making them money. Like, why not ban it? Like, yes, it's a special guest in Modern Horizons 3. But
I opened that, by the way. That's the one Magic thing I did over the weekend is I went and bought 1 pack of Modern Horizons 3.
Because you would lose money on Psychic Frog.
But you wouldn't, because the card is still gross.
I know. I'm just giving you their fucking dumb ideas. Like, I can't believe we would lose money.
3 Underground. How expensive is Underground Sea?
It's premium 1,000.
Volk. Yeah, I was about to say it's the same as Volk.
It goes up and down. Like.
Well, you're also looking at near mint. Near mint's totally
that's fair.
Than like moderately played or whatever.
$830.
Yeah.
For near mint.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably like $450 for a
page
beat one.
All right, whatever. Anyways, yeah. So with UCs like sleeve playable, it's probably like 5. UCs is always the most expensive one.
Near mint alpha is $14,000.
Yeah, man. Good luck finding a near mint alpha.
Yeah.
I mean, agreed. Yes.
Like when I got my
even limited ones.
I got my Taiga. It was pretty. Yeah. It was like MP or whatever.
For sure. All right.
You're right. You didn't get like $4,000 for it.
Yeah. And also that those things are so hard to like. You have to see like the last one that was sold and kind of do things based on that. So
I'd be so nervous to buy something like that because I'd just be afraid that I was getting ripped off.
For what?
I mean, if you're gonna
like buying a beta or alpha, just because like
you got to go to the right people.
Yes, agreed. That's what I'm saying. Like I'd just be too afraid because like, what if it did slip by, or what if like
I went to
proxies have gotten that good or something? You know, I would never want to.
Yes.
I mean,
Right.
that was the crazy part. Is like when I bought it, I didn't. He had it listed on eBay. I knew who it was,
Yeah.
and I just messaged him and said like, "Hey, can I come to your store and we'll talk it out?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
By the way, that poster for GameStop, it had a Pokemon card on it and then a slabbed One Ring.
Ah,
Yeah. That's just great. All right.
slapped One Ring.
Mm,
Like
now-
which version?
It was the non.
the version that Josh has non-foil is $400 now.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It went up another $60.
You mean the crazy cool one?
The poster art one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Is
I mean, that one is
foil.
cool. That'd be like the one that I would want.
yeah.
I think that only comes foil.
No, because I was gonna
The
buy
poster
one.
one?
I was gonna buy one yesterday.
Oh, okay.
That was non-foil, and it was $375. And I was
And
like,
then you realized it was infinite dollars, and you said,
I was
no.
like, I'll just buy 2 of your bundles. Like, let me just buy 2 of your bundles instead, and try to get this because they had rings for $100, but they had none in stock. So I was like, fuck. I was like, I need 4 rings because like my anxiety's like, I'm missing the boat. I'm missing the boat. Like in.
I mean, you did miss the boat already.
No,
You're just trying.
Dude, this is fucking reserve list cards. I think this is gonna be like Josh. It's very rare that I believe in Josh and anything that he does, especially because he's a cripple now.
Very rare.
I think it's reserve. It's a reserve list card, and I believe it will be more than an Underground Sea in 2 years' time. So like,
Oh, agreed.
I'm
I
buying-
don't think this card will ever get reprinted.
I can't. And they actually announced that they're not doing in-universe stuff anymore. Those are gone.
Really?
So-
Wait, they did?
They are no longer. It's discontinued. They don't do in-universe.
So we're not.
anymore.
So we're not doing Marvel.
No.
Marvel will
that's-
have its own cards. Like you
What
won't.
he means is like where they print the in-universe
Yeah.
version of a.
Let me show you.
Oh, that's. Wait, really?
Yeah, those are gone. So it's here.
All right. Well, I
Example.
guess I gotta go get my rings.
Yeah, like with the Chung.
Now you fucking convinced me to
Chung
go get
Li,
them.
right? Here's the Chung Li, and
Yep, and then there's an alternative.
well, they're
yeah.
the exact same card. But actually, if you look at Chung Li, it says this card because they didn't do what they did with the Godzilla ones because they're fucking stupid. So, Universes Within discontinued. Like they're not doing it. Like because people have an outcry about it because it fucking sucks, and it ruins
It's
their.
also confusing.
It also ruins the secret layer, right? You're like, you buy the secret layer, and then the next set, like, literally, I have, like, 13 cards that say fucking Friends Forever that have no reference to Stranger Things, but obviously, whatever. It blows. Oh, yeah.
The part that blows my mind though is like the outcry that people gave when the Walking
never
Dead
had
got reprinted, and they're like, "But I can't ever get this if I don't get the secret layer." Like,
Yeah.
then
I've
what do
never
you
had a
like,
problem
what-
with it. I don't get it.
I don't
Secret
either.
layer?
Like,
I don't care either.
whatever.
Yeah. That's.
I mean,
As
the
long
whole
as
like,
Wizards
well,
is
the
like,
reprint or
here's
whatever.
10,000 copies of the card. There's enough out there
Yeah,
at
so
that point.
the idea with the secret layers thing, right? When they do, like, Chun-Li, like, there's only this printing of it, and now they have Universes Within that you can get in the pack. So if you actually miss on this, all of the secret layers have been skins of existing cards, such as Lightning Bolt for the 30th fucking time. Like,
Hey, you
like-
watch your mouth.
there's a Gen Con promo of that, by the way, which is pretty good looking. But yeah, but this fucking it just is annoying. Like, don't make reserve list cards and then make a shitty Universes Within card. Like, it's gross. So, and the downside is the One Ring, as of right now, and nobody knows what. Like, I'd love to if someone could actually see what the contract is, but I would have to assume with the licensing, they were only allowed to print it for this set, and they probably don't want to revisit it. Because if they revisit it, then they have to, now with the data of Lord of the Rings IP being, this is the best-selling debt, that cost is going to be 4x. But, like, you know what you paid us for the IP last time? You're going to pay us 6 more times.
More, yeah.
I already got the solution, bro. Are you ready for this?
Don't print the One Ring.
Universes Beyond Masters.
Ban it.
It's gonna happen eventually.
I hope
We're
so.
gonna reach a point where people are gonna cry enough because there's not enough copies.
For sure.
Ban it.
They're gonna be like, all right, tell you what, all right, we'll print the card for you, but it's gonna be one out of like 500 Universes Beyond cards in this booster pack.
All right.
It's gonna happen, bro.
I'm going the other way.
Universes
We're just
Beyond
gonna ban
Masters.
everything. Ban all cards. Every card. Any card that reaches
Just
over
ban
100 bucks,
land
ban it.
cards.
Do you want to just buy 2 rings, JB, and then, like, we make a pinky
Share,
swear-
a pact.
like, if you're
When
playing
one
the
person is playing them,
we have to,
the other
like,
one can't.
and then we have to alternate weeks. Like,
Kids. I get the kids this week.
It's my
Send 'em over.
It's my fucking week.
But I need to get Japanese ones. Is my problem.
Well, you'll just have 2 foreign ones and 2 regular
Two English ones.
I was gonna say you should know what the card does by now, anyways.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It'll
I don't know. Maybe I'll forget it as indestructible. I don't know.
All right.
Can we talk about the star promo cards? Because like you briefly mentioned them at the beginning, but we didn't actually talk about what they were for.
Too late. We're running out of time.
I was just gonna say, why did they keep printing non-standard cards for standard showdowns?
Pretty funny.
You need people to want to show up. It's the best way because everybody's like, I want that Urza Saga.
And
I'm
the
gonna...
Shieldred.
Nope. People are like, I need that Urza Saga. I'm a modern player who is going to play standard, not commander players. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna go get this. Whereas if it's a standard player, like I don't play standard, I don't really give a shit about Shieldred. But people that want Urza Saga, which is legacy, modern, vintage, like I want that version. I guess I have to put a standard deck together. That's all.
I think
That's
there's
it.
plenty of expensive standard cards that see play in other formats that you could also use.
Like what? Name it.
So we have Shieldreds, we have Tri-lands that could be like the top 8 cards that people
like $10.
use.
Tri-lands are they already have a cool version of the Tri-lands. The original version that came out is pretty cool.
There's already a cool version of Urza Saga.
What?
No, there's not.
Yeah, there's the alternate sketch version.
That's,
Yeah, that it's not cool.
No, dude, that shit's awesome.
Let me tell you, as a person who has them, they're not cool.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Try them. Let's just look at this.
I mean, I buy
What about
alt
a
art
Traxa?
because
That's
I like
look at
them.
how ugly this Triome is, and then look at this beautiful, beautiful baby.
I don't even like that art for that one, but I understand what you're getting at.
Yeah, like the Saga looks like they look. Damn it, Saga's gonna be the worst.
That Urza Saga's cool.
Beep, look at this. And then like the sketch version looks too similar.
I love the sketch version.
I do too.
I don't mind it.
It looks too similar.
I just don't think it's that great.
It's like a you know, when you
Not
buy
unique enough.
when you like get skins and they're like when you get skins for your game and like the base skin is
Chroma.
green and then the other one's red. Yeah.
Green, but a little darker.
Like nobody wants the red version. People want Black Charizard, not the other version of the Mega Charizard. They want the Black Charizard.
They call that Chroma.
I never chose the black Charizard.
Well, did you get the Y one, the more red one? Anyways, so this one's super
Sunny
sick.
days busted, bro.
Yeah, all right.
How much do you think that thing's gonna be worth?
$50.
A lot.
Because what Urza Saga right now is in like 30, 35, isn't it?
I think it's almost 40.
It's almost. I think it's up there. Let's rifle it.
Because if it's 40, that one's definitely gonna break 3 digits.
Okay, maybe.
I think it's like $40.
Yeah, they're averaging 45.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
higher than I thought.
It keeps going up.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's a good card. Turns
Hey,
out you play it in a lot.
the full art Omnath, I think, is still like close to $100. It might have gone down. I could be wrong, but
Yeah, I believe that.
normally the Star Championship cards are like a lot.
Whoa, that's a crazy looking version. I've never seen that version of that Omnath.
Secretly, there it is. Oh, that thing's
Yeah, it's
so
one.
awesome.
It's 106. Yeah, and here's the thing, that was 2 seasons ago, so they only get more and more rare. And in fact, there's only 1 weekend that like store championships are happening, or 2 weekends. So there's a really super limited window.
So also with Urza Saga, you need 4.
Yes.
Oh yeah, by the way, to your proposition of buying 2 rings, how about you buy all 4 and then I just borrow them because you never play Magic?
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna do that.
You're investing in JB at that point.
Yeah. Well, I'm just
Well, good luck with that investment.
Yeah. And the foiling on these are not bad. I know you guys can't see it, but I'm showing the screen right now. They're actually pretty nice. They're not bad. I thought they were gonna be warped as shit. They did like a chill foil where it's just like selected parts of the cards foil versus the entire thing being coated in like
Oh, you're talking
Yeah,
about
you're
the
talking
ring
about
that
for
you
the
got?
bundles. I had 2 bundles in my playset when I had a
they're
playset.
legit. Like I thought, I was like worried, but all right.
The curl, I will admit, like the curl on, or it did curl on one of them, but like it was, I like stuck it in a box with like 5,000 cards and it was flattened in a day and it never curled again.
I have those little the dehumidifiers
or whatever.
The dehumidifying packets.
Oh, yeah.
You just put them in there. That straightens out anything but a Kaldheim foil and the Commander Legends foil. Like those things are.
Aldaheim.
Yeah.
Speaking of full arts, though, my manager, huge Assassin's Creed fan, he went and got packs and he got like the Sakura Tri-Builder. And I was telling him, I was like, man, I really want one just for Commander because like I don't think I'll ever play this in a 75. And he was like, well, I'm going to get more packs, so he's actually going to give me one.
Did I make a mistake
don't-
in not paying a little extra money to get that?
Yes.
The Sakura Tri-Builder?
Yeah.
No.
Why wouldn't you,
No,
bro? That thing is so sick. That's a piece of history, bro.
Yeah, but
That's Steve.
The original Steve is like, I think the F&M promo. Sorry, not the F&M promo. This crazy one, the Super Series one, which is like the Junior
the
Series,
TCI one.
the Japanese.
Yeah.
These are the cool ones. This one's
Sure. I don't know. I just.
Well, the only reason I ask is because when I was there, he was like, "Sure, you don't want to get a cool thing by buying a little more," and I was like, what promo?
How much is a little
I don't
more?
know
If
what
it's
you're
like
talking
$5, why wouldn't you?
No, it was like 20.
Oh, then I don't know. And you also don't play Green and Commander, do you?
No.
Then yeah, you have no use for it.
the F&M one's cool, and then obviously all
I
these
do like
junior
the
series,
F&M one.
all these Junior Series I think are really dope. So I like.
I'm just hyped to have the like textless, no power toughness.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool one. All right, last thing Bantanadu is reducing modern tournaments. Yeah, people are just not happy with it. It's just the play patterns are
Nobody's showing up to tournaments. Wow.
Yeah, so
it's really great.
They need to do something sooner than later. And in fact, like Bantanadu is a really strange one, especially with how how Nadu is. The fact that it will dominate the Pro Tour and it went down $5, like that's just unheard of. Like things don't really.
Well, I think everyone was afraid it was going to get banned that Monday. That's why.
Oh yeah, and it didn't. So, you know, it is what it is. Like
they played
so
2
funny.
rings, Jesus.
So I got my 2. Guess what I'm playing on Friday? And yes, I'm going to F&M because I need to play Nadu once in person, and so I can call it like.
Or it gets banned.
Let me just
There's
show
a
you.
certain someone that's going to be there, and I have a feeling if you play them, they'll complain on social media, and I cannot wait.
I will, and I have the tech already to beat them, which is they can't beat
the white creature.
Yeah, Sunclazer. I had a bunch of those just sitting in a box, bulk box, $6 a pop. So I gotta move those soon. All right.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, you guys like great value stuff?
Value.
Oh God, this is so.
I love value.
Remember that they got rid of the boosters for 2 sets? Like, guess what?
Yeah.
We got value boosters. 7 card
The
packs.
packaging on this is worth more than the cards inside.
What is it again? I forget.
It's 4 cards.
It's a 7-card booster, which may contain a rare, but it's 3 commons, 2 uncommons, and a slot that could be another uncommon or a rare or whatever. You know.
So you can get up to 2 rares. So
oh
it's
shit!
It's the 4 or the
or
3
0
commons, 2 uncommons. There's one that can be like uncommon or rare, I think.
Yep.
And then the last set or the last spot can be anything.
Yes.
Maybe common, uncommon, rare, mythic, and I think even like
you can just not get a rare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this is terrible.
Yep. Don't
Who
you remember
wants
buying those like 3-card Yu-Gi-Oh packs and stuff like that back in the day?
Yeah, he didn't play during that era. I don't think that was a little bit after.
Okay.
They had the I forgot there was no foils in them except for the black lettering. So you couldn't. It was like a super massive reprint set that they did in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5-card packs, and in those 5-card packs, like it just had a lot of like great cards like Tour Guide of whatever the infamous
the bus lady. Got it.
Yeah, and there was like a the foil version that you could get in the box. It was $200, and there was that one that was still $30. But it was like here's the cheapest
way to get reprints out. Yeah.
Yep. And then Pokemon did the same thing with like here's our newest set, but it's not reprints because they never do reprints of Pokemon. Except let me rephrase that. They do reprints, but it's not often. But they do like a 3-card pack, which may contain a rare, which they put up at Dollar Trees. So like when kids went to Dollar Trees, you could buy 4 of them for $4, open up 4 packs of Pokemon and get nothing.
Funny.
Yeah,
But you felt good about it because you were opening packs.
You were a child. It was meant to be like you're 10 years old.
You don't know what you're getting anyways. Here's something to open.
Here's $2. Have fun.
Some Pokemon. Yeah.
And like, oh man, I didn't get the Charizard, which because you're a child, you don't know what the fucking hit rates are. So, anyways, I don't know they don't say what the MSRP is going to be because they don't do MSRP, but some people are like, hey, this might be the best way to draft, where you buy 6 of these and draft. So
6 of these.
Yeah. You open 2 at a time.
Sometimes you don't get
It'd probably be better than play boosters.
It is.
Sometimes you don't get a rare, but sometimes you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus play boosters though, where you're ending up with like 12 rares
7
and
rares.
like
Yep.
commander cards.
So
dude, that was what was so weird because I fucking like opened the pack right of Modern Horizons 3.
Yes.
I looked at it and I was like, dude, I got like 3 rares. What the fuck is going on? It was just like a regular booster. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
understand.
Oh yeah, they
It's like, wait, a rare, another rare? Because
It's-
like I opened it, looked at it, went, oh, yep, there's my shit rare, and then I looked again. It's like another rare. Oh wait, a grief? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
all they did was they made set boosters draftable. That's it. So the formatting of a set booster is now draftable because they were like, all right, let's put the other 5 cards in, and they increased the fucking price from $4 to $6 or whatever a play booster goes for now. But these value boosters, everybody's speculating like, what's the price? And I think the acceptable price is like, if this is $2, I'm in. But if it's $4,
I think it's gonna be 3.
I think it's gonna be 4. I think they're gonna get greedy. They're like $4, and everybody's gonna be like,
$4.
yeah. Well,
I don't think so. I think they're gonna be 3.
yeah, let's see what Walmart says. So we got 3 weeks to find out. And then when Walmart puts these out, because that's where
Dang, this set's coming out in 3 weeks.
sure is.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
the
Yeah,
pre-release is not next weekend, but the weekend after.
Oh yeah, it's
So fast.
so
I'll
we'll
be going.
Go on. You'll be going to
I
the
was
I think
pre-release?
that might be a Gen Con when this
I'm gonna
gets
go to the
released.
one on
It does.
Sunday. What is
Yep.
that? The 28th.
Nice.
Yeah, the pre-release is at during Gen Con.
Nice.
So
I'm gonna
Go
go
see all
so
the
I can
cool
try to
shit.
win cards to have for the
Yeah.
energy.
Pick up all my furry cards or whatever.
yes. Yeah, you get all the cool furry stuff. All right. And lastly, Bloomborough. Let's go. Whole bunch of
Are
stuff
you gonna
came out of
look at all
Bloomborough. Yeah, there's gonna be a
That's
lot
where
of
it's
stuff.
at.
Yeah,
I know
Although that
nothing
one-drop
about.
black guy that's got Kick the Baby
yeah,
is pretty good.
yeah. So,
Dude, what is up with this like weird alternate cost? Like you can do X.
It's
thing
called
X
Kicker.
time?
it's just kicker. It's just kicker.
It's not kicker because
It
you're not
is.
paying more for it. You just
You are
Which
Pick.
one? Which one? Hold on.
you do.
Offspring.
So that we have this one right here, which let's go through the mechanics, I guess. So they have this whole theme. There's 10.
I saw like a little fucking leaf where you pay leafs to do things.
Oh,
and you
that's
get
just
X
the-
amount of leafs when you
yeah,
gas
yeah,
it.
yeah.
The modal,
you don't. Yeah. So all that is just a way for them to be cute on the card. It's literally just like pick these modes.
Yeah, it was
X
so
amount of time.
weird. When I read that text, I was like, what the fuck is this symbol?
So on the screen, we're showing Season of Lost, which is Black 3, and then you may choose up to 5 paws
Paw
worth
prints, right.
of modes. You may choose the same mode twice, and each of them has 1 paw print, 2 paw print, 3 paw print, and obviously the 3 paw prints a higher, a better effect, and then obviously 2 and 1. So like this one has 1 paw print. Each player sacrifices a creature. So if you wanted to spend all 5 of your paw prints on that, you can have each player sacrifice 5 creatures. Great. The second one is draw a card for each creature you controlled that died this turn. 1 second.
Yeah, so if you're doing like 3
The
of
best
1
I
and
think is the
2
blue.
and 1 of 2, you could draw 3 cards off, killing 3 of your guys and kill 3 of your opponent's guys.
Yep.
Okay, makes sense.
So
Yeah, it took me. I mean, I get it. It's just when I saw it, I was like,
It's just
what
a new way
the
to do
hell
modal.
is this?
yeah, it's
The blue one's actually pretty good.
blue one's 6 mana draw 5, pretty good. That's a really good effect, and then the other 2 effects aren't that bad either. Which is
It
return-
also could be 6 mana. Draw what?
Oops, the
that would
modal
be
blue
3
card's
Draw
good.
3, bounce everything.
yeah.
Who would have guessed? The mono blue
Yeah,
card.
draw
is
2,
always good.
bounce all, yeah, non-land, non-token. Non-token's pretty big, so you can make a token deck and not bounce
Yep.
like your tokens. So there's
Oh,
that.
you mean like blue white when they play Sunfall?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
And then you have Offspring, which is just kicker, which what Offspring
Fine,
does,
that deck will be dead soon
which makes a
once the rotation happens.
no, that one stays.
I thought they lose their lands.
Maybe they do.
Blue
Oh, blue
white.
white.
Blue white
Never
stays the
mind.
same.
Sorry, I was thinking 5 color.
So Offspring is you may pay an additional 2 mana to cast a spell. If you do, when you do, you create a 1/1 copy of this card. So you basically get a token that's a 1/1 of it. Same thing.
And the one you're thinking of, JB, is called. It's got that weird name. What is it? Come on, find a card here.
No, it was the blue one.
He was talking about the
It's not
pause.
Offspring. There it is. Gift a card.
Oh, yeah,
that's
gift a card.
another ability.
Yeah. So there's gift
What
a
the
thing.
heck is that?
So when you cast a spell, you can get a base effect, and if you give them something, you gift your opponent a thing, whether it's a 1/1 blue fish, whether it's a treasure token, whether it's a food token, whether it's a like they draw a card, you get an enhanced effect. So this one is called Kidnap, which is blue 2 for an enchantment. It has gift a card. So if you want to let them draw a card, you get an additional effect. However, this is enchant creature. When this enters the battlefield, enters Tap enchanted creature. If a gift wasn't promised, put 3 stun counters on it. So for 4 mana, you can stun them. Or if you gifted it, you then just mind control it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you always mind control it. It's just if you don't gift them, it has 3 stun counters on it.
Like it's just it's weird.
Like a slow mind control.
Yeah. Yep.
Can't think of the ability where it's like sack a token. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
So forage is a new ability, which is to forage, you exile 3 cards from your graveyard, or you sacrifice a food, and this is like the squirrel ability, right? And then if you do forage, you get this thing. So on this card we're showing is Thorn Vault Forager, which is 1 and a green. It has tap to add a green. It's a squirrel ranger. That's 2/2, and then it has tap forage. So you have to exile 3 cards or sack a food, and then you may add 2 mana of any color in any combination. And then it has another ability on there, but basically we're highlighting forage here.
There's also the new ability of if you pay 4 mana or 8 mana for the first time each turn.
The way that's worded is super bizarre.
So dumb.
Yeah. Dude, I can't wait to get back to rate the keyword or whatever. Yeah. Because dude, there have been so many new mechanics.
Oh yeah, dude, we're
ramped.
We're at like shards and like all of a sudden.
I mean, I guess once
flashback is back also.
Threshold, flashback, and landfall is all back in the set. I think they're just keywording stuff from now on. I think that because
agreed.
Yeah, they're just like we don't need to put in the set. It's not keyworded, but they have Valiant, which is a different version of Heroic. Which Heroic was only spells, I believe, and this also lets you have abilities that give you things that are heroic. So if you have something that like taps, give target creature +1/+1, it gets this, but it's only once per turn. So it's a worse version of Heroic in that sense, but it's the same thing. Like for example, I'm showing Seaglaive Mentor, which is 1 red and white for a 3/2 mouse soldier. It has got vigilance and haste, and it has Valiant, meaning that you target it with a spell or ability, it gets a 1/1 counter on it for the first time only.
I need more landfall cards.
Threshold. They revealed it's not on Scryfall. Scryfall's pretty late to the game when they do stuff. There's one more mechanic. I don't know where it is. It's the raccoon mechanic. Okay. Expend.
Raccoon mechanic.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yep.
God, the statements you're making are just ridiculous for Magic.
The first step. So expend. When you expend 4 mana as you cast your 4th mana total to cast it, you get this effect. So if you spend 3 mana and then you tap for a lightning bolt for your 4th mana, you get the trigger. If you spend 7 mana because you spent your 4th mana, you get the trigger. So it's like it just rewards you for spending mana.
Yeah, just dump.
It's just
late game value.
Yeah, and it's every turn, so it's like you're gonna get it. So, you have to actually spend it. You can't just throw it in your mana pool and get mana burned. So you actually have to spend it. You can't not. Food's back in this set. There's one card that I think is really good, and then everything else is kind of there's one card that's like the Chase EDH card, which they already revealed, which is the Nykthos for Typal.
Yeah,
I
think that card is going to be worth a lot.
I need that.
Yeah, so
I need that now. I need like 4 of them.
Yeah, so
it's like Gaia Cradle's adjacent.
It's Nykthos adjacent, right?
Yeah.
I guess what I mean is it's like Gaia's Cradle meets Nykthos, I guess is what I mean.
Do I need Nykthos for my EDHs?
Probably.
No, because not if you're 2 or 3 color.
He's mono white.
I'm not. I'm 1 or 2.
Oh.
Yeah. You probably should, because like if you're not making tokens in your EDH, Nykthos is just better because each creature is going to give you devotion
value. Yeah.
Whereas this is like if you have 30 squirrel tokens, squirrels don't give you devotion. However, you can go here's 30 mana because I have 30 squirrels.
Yeah,
so, like this card.
I need both of these.
I think you play both.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, so I need both.
Auto include.
At some point, I should get like 7 copies each.
You also need Cavern of Souls.
Yes.
That I already have a bunch of copies of.
Yes.
For standard or whatever.
So the last card I want to talk about, unless you guys have anything, is Thunder Trap Trainer, which is 1 and 2 for an Otter on an ATBs. It does Augur of Bolas, but except in only grabbing instants and sorceries, it grabs a non-creature, non-land card. So better than Augur of Bolas, and it's also got 4 offspring, so you can make a 1/1 copy of it. So for 6 mana, you get 2 ETB triggers where you look at the top 8 cards of your library and then pick 2 non-creatures. Augur of Bolas was a heavily played standard card.
Yep.
The first time it
it's been
came
a long time though, right?
Yeah, it got reprinted.
Who knows about power level?
Yeah,
differences and like.
being able to grab like artifacts, enchantments, and planeswalkers is way better. Like being able to grab enchantments is like insane, and it, just in an artifact, so that like increases it. It's kind of got like an Emery feel to it, to be honest with you. And it's an ETB trigger, so there's that. So yeah.
Real quick, did I see if you go back one? Those 3 lands were the same land, or 4 lands were the same, but they have the different seasons.
Yeah, there's 4 seasons for each land in the set, so they have like the 4 seasons, and then they have a base version of it too. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. Then they have anime in this set. So there's an anime version of the card, like Miura Trash Technician. There's yeah, exactly. They have an anime version and a regular version, and then some cards have what they call a showcase version that's not anime, so it's different. So there's 3 different styles, but they did legit say like here's the anime version, here's the themed set version, and then here's the
normal.
Yeah, so
it's like Secret and Nim art style.
Yeah. So
I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. So
no, I did not. So yeah,
people are loving it though.
Yeah, look at this landfall right here. A 1/1. No,
this card's actually dumb, dude. Like,
I think it's good. I mean, and limited is gonna make everybody fucking crazy. Like
3 mana, you get 2 copies of it.
Oh, I know. And then you're doing, every fetch line is deal 2 damage. Like I get it. Like it's like a Valakut. And obviously, when you have 4 of them, like or 8 of them, if you keep copying them, I think that card's good. I don't disagree with you there. I just like. And it's a 1/2, so it doesn't die to Bowmaster, so that's pretty big. Frogs are in this set, and frogs.
The copy is a 1/1 though.
Frogs.
Yes. There's a lot of weird frog stuff going on here.
Weird frog stuff.
Well,
bro, you got a lot of weird frog stuff going on in your Magic.
They're really weird. They kind of like hurt themselves. Like they're really punishing in like their own way. Like there's this one where it enters the battlefield, like. Whenever it enters or another creature enters, you have to bounce something every single time. And it's like, what the fuck is this? With lesser value, so it's just really, it's weird.
Yeah, they're hopping, dude.
Yeah, I get it. All right. Oh yeah, this Owl's the nut. Everybody loves this card. Already pre-selling for fucking $50, but it's a 6/5 bird. That's for 5 mana legendary creature, elemental bird. It's got flying, trample, ward, discard a card, and then all your creatures, opponents. Control have a base toughness of 1, so cards like that give permanent -1/-1, kill them. The list goes on.
Question: I've never really had to deal with it. If it has ward 1, discard a card, or ward discard a card, and you don't have a card to discard, can you do it still?
No, no, you can't.
You have to have a card.
So my question would be: did you discard a card?
Right.
Then, if not, the ability's countered. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, there's also a Badger in this set. There's also an Elemental Ugg, all sorts of shit. There's just no humans in the set. And then they also furified both Liliana, Nissa, and...
Dude, that makes me so... dude, I love the frog Nissa. It's great.
That's a great
Wait, what? I have not seen this.
The frog Nissa is great.
Yeah, let me get
I'm all about it. Go get the anime frog Nissa. Just go to Mythic Spoilers or whatever.
They're in the commanders.
And they have it...
So Jace the Mind Sculptor comes in a commander deck, by the way.
Well, we already knew that.
Yeah, so this is
that fucking that frog, not the other one. Give me the other one.
You
know I want the anime one. Give me this fucking.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
This epic,
Give me that.
bro.
Yeah. So
Wait, Nissa Who Shakes the World, isn't that a reprint?
Yeah, it's good.
These are all reprints. These are all in commander decks.
Oh, these are the. Oh, okay.
They're all in commander decks.
Yeah, and when I saw the Nissa, I was like, hell yeah, I need that.
Unless I'm wrong about this, but like this has got the commander symbol.
No, it says Bloomberg. It's BLC at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I don't think this one's in the commander deck. Like this is like the
no, those
one.
are in collector packs probably.
Yeah. So you can get furries of these. So yeah, you have.
You can get furries of the.
Yes.
The state of Magic the Gathering.
Liliana's a squirrel.
Liliana's a squirrel. Yep. And then you have Tamio, who's also a big bunny.
Rabbit.
Yep. So yeah. All right. One of you guys hit me with a hot take.
CDH is the worst format to ever exist.
That's that's known.
Get out of here.
Nadu and Occupant. Done.
No, Nadu's not that bad. Take. You all just don't try hard enough. It's Wednesday, my dudes.
There you go. Now we got it.
All right, let me